Like, entertainment isn't just, a concert or a show. Like, entertainment is a feeling, right? So, whether it's sports or whether it's comedy or whether it's a musical act or whether it's the pool or whether it's the casino floor, right? Honestly, we've got you covered.
Thanks for joining us on Louisiana's Playground Podcast, your roadmap to all things Lake Charles, Louisiana. I'm Brady Raynard.
And I'm Anna Strider. We are here today bringing you episode number 22. We are just cranking them out, it seems like, and excited to be able to bring you the authentic stories that Lake Charles and Southwest Louisiana has to offer. And this conversation is going to be an icing on the cake as we talk about all of the indulgence and opportunities to be entertained at Golden Nugget Lake Charles.
Just 4 more episodes until we reach our 1-year anniversary of the podcast. Pretty exciting.
Yes, and thanks to y'all who are listening each and every other week with us and keeping up on social media. It has been such a fantastic opportunity to continue to have these conversations. And if you're not following on social media, you've got to go over to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Visit Lake Charles, so you can definitely make sure to stay on top of everything, including the podcast.
Yeah, and please leave us a review if you don't mind. It really helps us grow, and it really helps keep these numbers and listens up. We're so blown away by the support that we've seen from all of you, and we appreciate it and would like to, keep that momentum train going. So if you can leave a rating or review, we'd appreciate it. And if you leave a comment, maybe we'll even mention it here on the show in the future. Who knows?
Stay tuned. We're waiting for the comments to come flowing in.
Well, speaking of the show, let's get started. We're going to talk with Joshua Robinson over at Golden Nugget about all their offerings, especially those on the entertainment side. But before we get to that conversation, you know the drill by now. We talk on V Eats.
On V Eats is where each episode, Brady and I go out into the community, we choose a local restaurant, and we have a really great meal. And then we bring all the details back to you all, the listeners, here on the show.
We're batting 1,000 at this point. Every meal has been exceptional. This one no different, as we took a trip out in the sun to Bill's Burger Bar, an awesome beach-setting restaurant just on the premise of Golden Nugget. They've got great burgers and sandwiches and appetizers and overall a fun meal.
Bill's Burgers and Bar actually started in New York City in 2009. Since then, they've expanded to 4 different states, and Louisiana is the only southern state, with Lake Charles being the only location in the entire South where you can get some of these fantastic burgers.
And not only burgers, as I mentioned, sandwich, there's some really exceptional chicken sandwiches, a Philly cheesesteak, there's different types of nachos, amazing milkshakes, just really what you want in terms of a hamburgers place where you can really indulge with some really rich, big, and delicious hamburgers.
Brady mentioned milkshakes, and let's start with the dessert first on this episode because we had to get a milkshake. Now, when you're sitting lakeside, you have the breeze, the summer, sun in your face, the sand. It's just a really great energy. It screams for a milkshake. And we got the Cookies and Dream, which is loaded with Oreos. It says that on the menu. They are not kidding. I think we each had a full Oreo, and I ate all the Oreos out of the bottom of our shake. 100% took like 5 full spoonfuls of Oreos. Don't tell anyone, y'all.
It's so good, so creamy, and just that perfect amount of chocolate from the Oreos with the cream of the ice cream. For me, a cookies and cream milkshake really is the standard for how I judge milkshakes, and this one meets that expectation and more. It's huge. You're able to share it, and I think, honestly, if you go, it's a must order. As for the food, I went with the Billy cheesesteak with some cheesy fries. I love a good Philly cheesesteak style sandwich, and this one was on a beautiful hoagie bun that was nice and soft. It held up well. I poured some buffalo sauce on it as well. It can come with onions and a house-made mustard sauce as well if you prefer that, but I love a good hot sauce on my Philly cheese. And the steak was nice and thick cuts of steak on it. Overall, just a very good Philly cheesesteak. I'm trying to become a connoisseur in Philly cheesesteaks, and this one lived up to what I was expecting.
For me, I got the south of the burger, which I'm pretty particular with my burgers, and this one's towards the top of my list here in the lake area. It had guac, caramelized onions, queso sauce, pico de gallo. It was incredible, and it actually had a little bit of a punch to it as far as a kick. Not necessarily like a hot heat to it, but just really rich in flavor. And the bun itself was toasted beautifully. You could tell that they layered that with butter and put that on the stovetop just like that. It was an excellent touch before we, of course, got the loaded Oreo shake.
And had that food coma.
Coming back after lunch was difficult for this one. But if we were staying at the Golden Nugget, we would have been out there for sunset because it truly is a great place to watch the sun fall right there on the shoreline and just have an all-around great experience. They even have Calcasieu cocktails. So it's a great spot to go if you're staying at the Golden Nugget or if you're somewhere in the area. But that's just the tip of the iceberg because the Golden Nugget Casino Resort, as well as all of our casino resorts, have incredible dining options. This was just a taste of those.
And Golden Nugget has a vast array of experiences for your culinary delight. Places like Vic and Anthony, really an upscale 5-star steak restaurant. You have seafood restaurant like Landry's. There's DraftKings Sportsbook for an upscale take on bar food there. Saltgrass is another quality steakhouse in the building. Lily's Asian Cuisine is obviously, as it says, different Asian type inspired foods on their menu. Then you have the Italian restaurant with Grotto. Claim Jumper, which is a late night diner style option there. Chart House is attached there to the golf course and the clubhouse, and they have a bunch of different options, including brunch, which is one of Anna's favorite brunch spots in town.
It sure is. Talk about those Bloody Marys. Ooh.
In addition, there's the Mexican Grill Cadillac, and then, of course, everyone's favorite coffee shop, Starbucks.
I mean, with that wide array, it's no wonder that when you're on property there, you can dine at so many different places and get so many different types of cuisine all in one spot. It really makes for an all-encompassing destination in itself to be able to dine, to be able to take a charter fishing trip like we talked about in our last episode. And of course, sit by the lazy river and soak up some rays down there by the pool. So a lot of great options to dine at the Golden Nugget. We do recommend if you're coming into town and you have the opportunity to make those reservations ahead of time to make sure that your group has a wonderful dining experience at the Golden Nugget.
From a great meal to a great guest, we welcome on Josh Robinson. He's the Chief Marketing Officer at Golden Nugget Lake Charles, and he is a casino industry veteran, over 2 decades of experience. And my favorite part about his biography, a Louisiana native. Welcome to the show, Josh.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
We are excited to have you on. Each episode, we talk about how Louisiana's playground has the best of both worlds, those big city amenities and that small town charm combined with great outdoor recreation. But today, we get to really talk about those big city amenities and the luxury experiences that we have here in Lake Charles. And it's time to really get started, though, with finding out how you play in Louisiana's playground. Are you ready for a few juxtaposing questions?
Oh, well, hit me with them.
All
Come
right.
on.
Crawfish or gumbo?
Ooh, crawfish.
Why crawfish?
It's just so good. Like, and so I'm a little weird, right? Like, I don't like things with a bunch of stuff in it. So, like chicken and sausage gumbo, yes. If you start adding more things, I get a little weirded out. Don't judge me. So crawfish, definitely. And I always have to have dipping sauce and the gloves again. And I also get judged for that.
I love it. Do you wear the bib as well?
Not the bib.
Okay.
Even if you guys could actually see my shirt today, you would think I needed to wear the bib.
Don't worry. Even with a bib, you can get stuff on your shirt. I am proof of that. All right. Next question. Poolside or beachside?
Poolside.
Okay. That makes sense. But why?
Like, I like to enjoy the sights and sounds of the beach. But to me, with that, the sand not in my toes is a win for me.
Same. It's always the sand.
Yeah, it follows you everywhere. And you're like, you could take 12 showers and you're going to wake up with like sand in your sheets.
It's coarse. It's rough. It's
right.
good. It gets everywhere.
But it's good for your skin. It's exfoliating. All right. I can respect it. All right. Our final question. This one's a pretty big one, I think. Concert or comedy show?
Oh, God, can that be a tie?
Ooh, I
It's
haven't.
like,
You'd be the first.
Yeah.
Usually people are very particular.
oh yeah, as you can see, I'm struggling. I would have to say it's a tie for me. I know, I'm so sorry. I know that's not how this game works, but like, yeah, I would say it's a tie because look, sitting down for a show, whether it's comedy or it's a musical act, whatever, to me, comedy is a concert, right? Like, and it's a different vibe, but like, it's just, both experiences are great. Sorry, it's a tie.
I mean, look, it is what it is, right? And I think both offer something different. And if you enjoy both, then you enjoy both ultimately. But I think it's funny enough that last question really is a great segue into our conversation of what we're talking about today, which is the Golden Nugget Lake Charles and all the entertainment options that you guys offer, in addition to the resort options and obviously the casino gaming options. With being such a one-stop shop for a little bit of everything, what does Golden Nugget really pride itself on?
Yeah, I think, look, we pride ourselves on providing, escapism and experience to our guests, right? You got to think about, you, me, all of us, we work so hard every day. There's all the things going on in the world. And so I think what we pride ourselves is just being a place that you can just get away from that, cut loose, have a good time. If you're looking for great food, we've got you covered. If you're looking for great entertainment, we've got you covered. If you're looking to just relax and unwind, we've got you covered, right? So I think for us, I mean, we just want to be that place that you can go, disconnect, and just have the time of your life.
And I think what's interesting, I've been to a number of casinos throughout Louisiana and other parts of the country, but the first time that I stepped foot in the Golden Nugget, I was really taken back by how much it truly is almost a mini city in a way, in that everything that you could kind of think of to do is in there, whether it be, you've got your hotel, the gaming, the relaxation aspect with the spas. You've mentioned the food. There's shopping as well. And then on top of that, the entertainment. You get there and there's everything.
Absolutely. And I always just like, oh, well, what can you do at Golden Nugget? I was like, you're asking the wrong questions. Like, what you need to be asking me what you can't do at Golden Nugget. So look, if you're in Southwest Louisiana and you're looking for a staycation, you just walk into our doors and you're right. I mean, you absolutely don't have to leave. Now, don't get me wrong. There's so many amazing things to experience in Southwest Louisiana, but you're right. I mean, we are, you said it best a little bit earlier, a one-stop shop. But again, it's just, we just want you to come and have a good time and experience all the things that we have to offer.
You were talking earlier about how the team at Golden Nugget is compiled of so many different people that come together and really work towards all of these different aspects because there's so many forms of entertainment. And your experience from other destinations and casinos also plays into that. Internally, what does that kind of look like, that planning process and developing such great amenities at the casino?
Yeah, you're the first thing that came to mind. I was like, oh, it's a lot. But, look, I mean, because, you've got the entertainment team, you've got promotions and events, you've got the casino marketing team, and I always tell people it is a well-oiled machine, but it takes everybody and everything to make these things happen. You think about just entertainment in general. We do over 50 shows a year in our grand event center. And that doesn't even include, live entertainment in Rush Lounge, Blue Martini every weekend, DJ at the pool every weekend. Someone said something to me one time, like, Golden Nugget is like a whole vibe. And it just stuck with me because you feel the energy like the second you walk in the door. And so when it comes to, the entertainment aspect, there's the planning process. There's all these things, look, and they're not glamorous, right? But it's, checking the avails, understanding the customer, really listening to what they want, who they want to see, what they want to experience, and those things don't happen overnight, and they don't happen with just one or two people, but it's a cool process. Like I said, it's not glamorous, right? But there is a lot that goes into really defining the who, what, when, and where.
But the result is The result's pretty glamorous. I mean, when you look at the star-studded cast of characters that kind of roll through the doors at the entertainment stage, I mean, just at the end of this year, we're already halfway through the year, more than halfway, and the list of acts that are still coming through. But on the music side, for example, Gary Allan, he's had a heck of a career and really is seeing a resurgence in what he's doing, and he's coming. So you have that nostalgia factor, someone that's really kind of creating themselves. And then possibly the biggest name right now in country music, especially on the female side, Lainey Wilson, the Louisiana ambassador herself, the country music superstar, is coming as well. Before I get to any other, I mean, just getting Lainey Wilson into the door is huge.
It is huge. And we're so excited to have her. You know, she'll be playing in the event center on September 9th. Right. So the show is sold out. Sorry, guys. Obviously, you know, if any tickets come available, we'll put those back on sale. But yeah, I mean, we do. Look, the other thing that's important to us really is just offering that, you know, diverse lineup, right? And making sure that, you know, we have something for everyone, right? So we've got all the genres covered, from, you know, old school rock and roll to country, Texas dirt country, R&B. I mean, we've also got, well, spoiler alert, we do have a Cirque show that's coming in December, which is going to be really amazing. So yeah, you're right. I mean, the back end of it is absolutely glamorous, but that's what we want for our guests, right? We want them to have the ultimate experience. So we put in the work on the back end to make that happen.
I like that too, the variety. There's the new and upcoming. There's the right now. Mm-hmm. And then you also have some blasts from the past. Like, for example, Casey and the Sunshine Band. All of us can name 15 songs that we know from them, right? And they're coming in October.
Yeah. And guys, I don't know if you've ever been to a Casey and the Sunshine Band show, but let me tell you, it is the most fun that you are ever going to have. And you're right. You will know absolutely every word to every song, and you'll have no idea how you know it, but you will be singing and dancing. It's like, it's the craziest thing.
That's the way I like it.
All right. October 6th, put it on the calendar.
Yes.
I know for me, the second time I ever visited Lake Charles and came to stay a weekend, I went to the Flatland Cavalry concert at the Golden Nugget. And I mean, just the photos from that night say it all. I had an amazing experience, and that was truly an eye-opening to all that we have to offer here. And I experienced everything that you all set out to put forth for the guest experience. And I'm still crying over the fact that I was out of town when Jordan Davis came, like in tears about that one. So right here in the backyard.
Hey, you never know. There may always be another chance.
I am keeping my eyes on that calendar.
Did you just wink?
I did not wink. I did not wink.
For the record. For the record.
You know, in addition to, and then in November, Marcus King, he's kind of one of those up-and-comers there on the country music circuit there. And so those are just 4 acts that before the end of the year that we'll see come through the doors. And like I said, up-and-coming, blast from the past, and now and current, like Lainey Wilson. So a lot of fun there. Also, we don't get as many comedy acts compared to the music acts, but we still have some really big names comedy-wise coming through. Whitney Cummings coming August 11th, and she's a trip. You've seen stuff with her before. Like, even if you don't realize, if you even see any comedy, you've seen something with Whitney Cummings in it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's like super funny, right? So again, when you asked me the question earlier, you know, concert or comedy, and this is what makes it tough, right? I mean, it's all kind of an immersive experience. It's all kind of like an auditory celebration, right? Whether it's something that's going to make you laugh or something that's going to make you sing, and Whitney Cummings will definitely make you laugh. So I can't wait.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of comedy shows there, and it is nice because there's not that pressure for them to perform at, you know, one of the huge venues. And so you get a much more kind of tight, confined comedy show, which to me is really the best type. And so, you know, I'm pretty sure she has a good fun with the crowd as well. So that's going to be a fun show.
It is going to be a fun show.
You know, I was listening to a Tom Segura podcast, and I clicked on it though, and not knowing the episode or that he had recently been to Lake Charles, and he was just talking about his experience at the Golden Nugget and a good crowd and everything. And it was just kind of an eye-opening experience to me because it was right when I moved here as well. I was like, wow, this is a pretty big deal. And to then go on his podcast and communicate that to his audience about what we have going on here is a big deal.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's so now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, like it was almost this exact same time last year that he was at the Golden Nugget.
Yep.
And speaking of that, obviously, as much as we would like you to break some news here and let us know of some potential acts coming through Lake Charles, I know you're not going to do that, but maybe if you could highlight some of the ones that you've seen come through just to kind of give us an idea of the type of acts that we could expect maybe last year. So like Tom Segura was big on the comedy circuit. Any that you know that really stood out over the last couple of years that really show the pool that the Golden Nugget has for the acts?
Oh goodness. You guys have got to think, since we've been open, we've probably done, oh gosh, I wouldn't even more than 1,000 shows if like I even had to guess. But look, some of the ones that I think like, Hank Williams Jr. was great. Nelly is great. Pitbull was a ton of fun. Look, my personal favorite, I don't care what anybody says, is Tanya Tucker and Delta Dawn was like the best moment for me. I'm telling you, look, I was at the merch table. I was the first one at the merch table. That was a great show. But no, oh my goodness. Like, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, when I think about, Louisiana natives, Diana Ross, Patti LaBelle, Brian McKnight. I mean, it's just, I could just go on and on and on. I think about Chicago and Kansas, ZZ Top.
And these are all acts that have come through the doors of Golden Nugget within the last few years, which shows you what we're going to, I'm excited to see what the lineup will be next year.
Oh, it's going to be great. But I am going to make you wait for it.
This is not
Fine.
fair. We bring you on the podcast, and this is the way we're treated.
It's what happens at 8:30 a.m.
We hear that loud and clear.
With those past, future, present in mind, how are some of the acts kind of chosen? You spoke on the back end there, and it's not necessarily glamorous, but how are those acts chosen?
Yeah, so I mean, look, it to kind of go like full circle for you guys, right? So, the voice of the customer is really important to us. And I'm sure you can imagine, all of the time our guests are like, oh, we'd really love to see this person. And we'd love to see that person. Oh, could we, and could you, and oh, and I remember this and da, da, da. So that's the most important thing, is really just like keeping your finger on the pulse of your customer. Right? Because look, you want to bring people in that people want to see, that people are going to enjoy. But really, I think the other part of it is probably what you can imagine, right? You've got a room full of people, we're discussing what's available, what routing opportunities they are in the market. And then, all the business aspects of it, right? But really, it just comes down to, what does our customer want, right? What are they going to enjoy, and what's available, and when can we make it happen, right? So you've got, it's like I said, it's a crazy process. And, if I have to give a shout out to Tammy and Justin, I would say Tammy is like the entertainment whisperer. Justin is the entertainment manager on property, who really just makes everything happen. But it is a group of people, and it is a lot of work. And that's why I said, that's not the glamorous part, but I think you said it best too. I said, but the outcome makes it all worth it, right? When you open those doors and you see the excitement on people's faces to get in there and see that person that they love or that they've been waiting to see. And then when you open the doors, when it's over and everybody's just excited, oh, this was the best ever. So it makes it all worth it.
Where do you find information about upcoming acts, tickets, and all of that?
Sure. Yeah. So just go to goldennugget.com, select the Lake Charles destination, and under the entertainment tab, you'll find everything you need in terms of how to purchase tickets for our upcoming shows. But again, if you want to book a table, whether it be at DraftKings or any one of our restaurants, you can visit those sites as well, and we got you covered.
We've been talking about so much of the entertainment that the Golden Nugget has to offer, but there's also the meetings and convention space that entertainment space is used for. And I can only assume a separate team that really runs with it and makes all of those aspects possible. What is that space like for the meetings and convention side?
Oh, it's whatever you want it to be. I know look, we've got over 30,000 square feet of banquet space. We've got a sales and banquets and catering team that is just top notch. They will cater to your every need. And so, whether you're setting up an expo or a wedding or a luncheon, I mean, I really mean it. It's whatever you want it to be. I've seen those spaces transformed from blank canvas to some of the most amazing things that you would ever walk into. So again, it's there. Like I said, it's just, and I'm getting lost in even my own words because my brain is going back to some of the wedding setups and the expo setups and like I've seen machinery come in and all trusses going up and crazy lighting and massive chandeliers. And again, it is there for pretty much any need that you have. Something is, you just need a board meeting or you need a full-on event. I think about, we hosted the Louisiana seafood cook-off, which was really a cool immersive experience with all of the different cooking stations and chefs represented from out the state of Louisiana. And that was really cool as well.
Yeah. So from big summits and conventions all the way to this giant seafood cooking competition, which I've been able to go to each of those in this past year. And yeah, you guys handled it really well. And the space, like you said, is that canvas. It hits all of those. And so once again, fits into the theme, one-stop shop.
Absolutely. We're here for your every need, right? It's just come and let us handle it. Just let the rest go.
And I think that's really reflective of, we talk about the visitor experience, but Golden Nugget is truly a part of the community as well. I know the first Mardi Gras ball that I ever attended was at the Golden Nugget. So there's many different aspects of how the community comes on board, including at the Louisiana Seafood Cook-Off. There were so many of the different restaurants there and partners in the community and everyone coming together. So it's this grand space where people from all around the country come to enjoy, and people who are right here, you said it earlier, a staycation or just to utilize the amenities, that happens as well. And you all play directly into being a part of everything that we do here in Southwest Louisiana.
Yeah, look, the Southwest Louisiana community is extremely important to us. We love it here. There's so much culture here. It's a great place to have a business and provide, as I was saying earlier, the escapism that, we all need sometimes, right?
Well, good news. I just got off the phone with Tillman Fertitta, and he told me that you can let me know any big upcoming acts that we're going to get that haven't been announced yet.
Oh, I didn't see you pick up the phone.
I was texting him.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
You still have to pick up the phone to text.
But look, I'll tell you, good try. But what I will say is this: there is a lot to be excited about with our entertainment lineup, not only in the coming months, but next year. We've already got some really solid, really exciting things pinned down in 2024. But I said, look, you got to wait for it.
Patience. Great things take time, Brady.
Yeah, he's not happy about it.
It's okay. We'll let him simmer in that as we...
Yeah, so beyond the meeting areas and the entertainment acts that roll through, we had talked about the different aspects of what you guys offer, but let's be a little bit more specific. And what I mean by that is you guys also have opened a new pickleball court. Mm-hmm. And then what I think a lot of people know Golden Nugget for is the giant lazy river that's right next to it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so just that whole little entertainment area, you can get sucked in for 8 hours and not even realize.
Oh, yeah. Look, the pool area is amazing, right? So you talked about the lazy river, but, we've got the private cabanas. We've got the day beds. We do have the pickleball courts. I always say we've got, the hidden gem, which is the Chart House restaurant, which is located on the golf course. It's a little bit off the beaten path. We have a full service spa and salon. So, when we talk about relaxation and really just kind of wanting to unwind, there's really no better place to do it than that. But yeah, I mean, and then I think about, if you're a sports fan, we've got the largest sports book in Louisiana, over 3,200 square feet of LED screens, 360 wraparound screens above the bar, talking about a fully immersive experience. Anywhere you stand or sit in that space, you are just surrounded by screens. So
it was amazing. I went for a Monday Night Football game and watched the Philadelphia Eagles throttle the Dallas Cowboys on those beautiful wraparound LED screens. And let me just tell you, seeing the Cowboys lose in that fashion, it brought a tear to my eye.
But look,
thank you, DraftKings Sportsbook.
You are so welcome. As I said, when you think about entertainment, look, entertainment isn't just, a concert or a show. Like, entertainment is a feeling, right? So, whether it's sports or whether it's comedy or whether it's, a musical act or whether it's the pool or whether it's the casino floor, right? Honestly, we've got you covered. It's just, as I said, I know I'm playing this out, but we just, come, get away, have fun.
Entertainment is a feeling.
But it is, right? I mean, think about, when you think about, you could say, I want to be entertained at any time. And that could really encompass anything, right? Like, food is entertainment. Food is an experience, right? I mean, there's the service aspect, right? There's the bar aspect. But again, so to us, we are entertainment. It is the place we want you to come and be entertained, to have a good time, because when someone is feeling entertained, they're wrapped up in that moment, right? They are wrapped up in that moment and they are having a great time. And I think you asked me earlier kind of what we're all about, and I would say that's 100% it.
So whether you're planning a couple's retreat, you need to get away with the girls or the guys, or even a family vacation, Golden Nugget has you covered right here in Lake Charles. And it's just been an absolute pleasure to talk about all that the team at Golden Nugget does to really create an experience that's one of a kind here in our community. So thanks for being on the show, Josh.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is a ton of fun.
Thanks again for Josh for joining us here on the show. But the biggest thank you goes out to you for taking time out of your day to join us here on the podcast. So if you enjoyed the show, please leave us a rating or a review. Send us a little note in the comment. Maybe we'll read it on the show. Who knows?
Each time that you do, it helps us grow our audience to be able to continue to bring you the unique experiences that Lake Charles has to offer. So if you've already left us a review or a rating, go ahead and share an episode with a friend and invite them to start planning your weekend here in Lake Charles. So go to visitlakecharles.org/podcast for more episodes, where to eat, and of course, all the events happening this weekend. I'm Anna Strider.
And I'm Brady Raynard. Thanks again for coming play at Louisiana's Playground. C'est you.